Hi, I am IT PhD and we continue our adventures in C language. So in our past video we managed to create a level full of monsters and also staircases which could bring you to another level. And it's time today to make our monsters more diverse, more interesting. Because right now we have only these little T's. So let's add different types of monsters. And actually, I want to start with improving our program a bit because it's quite funny that it works. It shouldn't work. Why? Because we actually made a blunder here because we do not return player input. So as we get player input in the end of our loop, and as it's this loop going circle in circle, restart every time, we actually losing our player input. Why we have it still, why it works? Because it's not initialized. We not initialize it like this. So if we initialize it like this, it wouldn't work, our input. So how to do it properly? To do it properly, we should actually give it back to our game loop like this. So we should add here, it's like recursive stuff. So we get character, we get player input, and then we send it to this function. Yeah, so it's the right way to do it, to add this place. And also we need to add it here, int c, yeah, like this. And here we do not need it at all. So now it's correct. Now we have kind of recursion with our input because we getting it from our game loop and then we sending it back. So nothing wouldn't be lost. Another thing, let me check. We do have any another errors? Yeah, we have some not errors but some warnings. So let's fix them too. It's quite easy to do. So first, player action. Yeah, actually we need to call action, and then we should call battle. Should be like this. From bottom to top, generate, and also dungeon draw function should be kind of we should put it to a different place too, because we need to draw dungeon at the end. Yeah, it's important to have right order for functions. So let's take it. Let's take a look. We do not need rows in the battle. Okay, let's remove it. So where we call battle function here, remove rows. And one more warning which we have. Let me check again. In player action, we do not need rows. Okay, let's remove it. I left it in the last time because I thought we might want to have them. But yeah, better to get rid of all warnings so our log will be clear. And also we need to add return 0 to spawn creatures and to the battle. Let's do it. Battle function. Also we need to move it a bit. 0. And spawn creatures also return 0. Okay, so let's test it. And log is clear, it's fun. And again, I want to check our logic. So first game loop, then generate dungeon, then action. No, then we need to spawn creatures. So let's move it, spawn creatures after dungeon generation, like this. So we will have proper logic. Then player action, then battle, then dungeon draw at the end. Yeah, now it's correct. So what we want to do today, we want to make our monsters more diverse, more interesting, because right now it's all T letters, which is it's just goblins, so we need something else. And to spawn them, we will use spawn creatures, and we will just make some interesting diverse things here. First of all, we would take a look in our structure, monster structure, and we would add here int type. So we would have monster type. And when we fill our structure, we will also fill its type. And type which we have, it will depend on dungeon level, like this. So dungeon level plus like 96, as far as I remember. 96, it's where small, in ASCII table, small letter starts, like MBC. So capital letter A, B, C, they start with 64, something like this. And 96, it's when small letter starts. Okay, so let's test it. We fill type, and now we want to show it in our dungeon draw. How to do so? Here, where we draw our monsters, we would use small cycle. Actually, by the way, it's fun to move these drawing monsters somewhere down, even after walls, because we would have here a cycle, so it will be more efficient to use it only in if other cases not doesn't work. Yeah, let me by the way test, because as I moved right now walls, I do not remember how walls done. Does it work or not? Yeah, I forgot something. What I forgot? Else if, okay, of course I forgot. So yeah, it's important to test everything which you change right on. Other way you will have some problems which you wouldn't understand how they happen. Yeah, everything works, it seems. So here we will go through our for cycle to look for monsters. Let's just take this cycle from our battle. Yeah. So from our battle we will take it and just rework it a bit. Yeah. So yeah, I think we would need only this small thing for now. So is monster coordinate equal to Y and monster coordinate equal to X? If it's equal, we found monster which we need, then we want to draw it. And to draw it, we say that we want to draw this particular monster type, like this type. Let's test. Okay, you see now, first level it has all A, second level has all B monsters, third level has C, and etc. Which is fun, but it's still not enough for our roguelike game. Let's make it even more fun. First of all, by the way, I want to change hit points parameter to level to simplify stuff, because I want to monsters to have not hit points but level, and their level will define their hit points and attack and their speed. So I want to make minimalistic roguelike game, at the same time interesting one, I hope. So we will just replace all hit points to level. Yeah, so let's do it. HP to level, replace. Okay, 4 occurrences. Does it work? Yeah, it works. No warnings. Now let's make in our not in dungeon draw, but in spawn creatures, let's make these monsters more interesting, because right now you see they're kind of too static to the same one. So we will use a random number generation to do it. So how we would do it? We would say that we want to generate a monster based at random function. So it will be from dungeon level plus 96 from 0 till dungeon level plus 96. Yeah, you see, and now it's kind of show us quite diverse stuff, but not what I wanted actually. We will fix it. I just want to check how it looks like. It looks quite funny. This stuff looks like equipment in roguelike games. Yeah, but we do not need actually these brackets, because this is first priority operation. So we will get a random creature, and it will have based at the dungeon level, and it will have A, B, C, or other appearance. But yeah, it should be, as we are at first level right now, it should be like 97. Yeah. Okay, it's A. So if we go down, here we would have A and B, you see? So it's what I wanted. And here we have C, B, A. So more interesting monsters. Here we have already D. And now what we will do, we would also make these monsters, they will have more different parameters. You see, it's already E here. So it's kind of the most simplest and yet effective way to generate different monsters in your dungeon. You see, it's just one simple line of code. And it looks not bad. So now let's make a level of these monsters different too. Right now it's all they all have level 2. It means like you should give 2 blows into them to defeat them. Let's make it also based at dungeon level. So what we do, we say that, okay, let's make it ranked by dungeon level. Yeah. Plus 1, because at first level we have only one, it will be level 1, so one module, our random number module by 1, it wouldn't be what we want, so we will take plus 1. Now they all have very different hit points. Yeah, and actually it should be like this. Yeah, we should add this hit point at once. And for level 1, actually we would, so if we have dungeon level 1, then we will also, in case if we would have 0 here, because right now we could have 0, you see? So here we will add 1. Okay, now our monsters, they have different hit points. 1, 2, let's check. 1. You see, this one had only 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. They all have different hit points, which is fun. Now we have some diversity. So it's time for us to make our game also looks fancier. So we would make our monsters, we would give them different color. So based at their level, at their kind of hit points, you could say, level of the danger, we would color them. How to do coloring in curses? There are some functions. I myself do not remember all these functions, so I just make a cheat sheet here. So first of all, you need to initialize your colors, because by default they're kind of turned off. So you, when you init your screen, you should initialize your colors. Then you could use default colors, or it's kind of not obligatory thing. You could customize your own ones. But as I want to make our game work everywhere the same, I'll use default colors option. And then we need to initialize different colors like this. So this function, it's a init pair. So it takes font color, for example, color red, and background color, color black. So and it give it name like red. But actually, you could just write here numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But as it's not so readable, what we would do, we will define some of these colors here. So we will define red. Let me make it several defines. Define red 1, define green 2, define yellow 3. It's not much. Blue 4. So actually, what does it mean? It means that if somewhere in our program we would have such keyword, it will be replaced by preprocessor by this number. So it's not really kind of C language. It's preprocessor directives. Magenta 5 and cyan 6. It's actually a very basic thing, because most of ancient consoles, they supported 8 colors, so also like black color and white color. But I do not want even to store it there, because kind of we would use them by default. So now if we would test it, we do not have any errors. It's good. How to color our monsters? Let's go to draw stuff. So first I'll hide all our functions. We will move them to separate folders soon. Yeah, dungeon draw. So here, where we found a monster, we want to draw it. How to draw? There is a way with to use utter on function. What does it mean? It means attribute on, like turn on. So if we would use this way, like we already created color pair, which is red. You could actually use 1, for example, but you will see what will happen. 1 second. And yes, you could actually, when you do it, let me just demonstrate to you. You see why we have everything in red? Because after we made our monster, we turned on attribute, this one, and it's dyeing everything into red color. So we need to turn it off. Turn off like this. Yeah, you see, and now only monsters has red color. So it's like, you know, HTML. This attribute on, like tags in HTML. Maybe you know about these tags, like h1, and then to close tag you say hi then, and close tag you say like this. It's kind of the same thing. You open tag and then you close it. So we could even add this tab here, so it will be more readable. So yeah, you could use these numbers, or you could use color. That's why in the beginning I defined it, so it will be more readable and understandable which colors do you have where. Okay, so we dyed our monsters into red color. Also, let's dye our player into white color, into bold color. So here we have it. Let's also add this attribute, but here we would use attribute bold. Yeah, like this. You see, it's become more bright. Our A become more bright. You see, at utter on are bold. And yeah, there is a way you could kind of do utter off like this. You see, let utter off, and then everything wouldn't continue to drop. But actually, there is another way to remove all attributes from drawing in next functions like this. So you see our character become bright. Let's make bright our staircases. So go to dungeon draw where we have staircases here. Let's make staircases bright too. Okay, like this. So you see now staircases, they are bright too. It's easier to notice it. Nice. But why I added colors to the monsters? Because I want to make to show player which monster heart, which is healthy. So it will be more easy to understand which monster should you fight to get some gold or should run, for example. So here we would add checks for monster health, for monster level. So if monster level smaller than dungeon level divided by 2, then we will draw monster will be kind of, there are two different concepts. It could be red, which means it's hurt, or it could be red because it means that it's dangerous. And I am not sure which concept to take for now, so let's take this one. So like red color will mean that a monster is hurt. You see, and right now, by the way, we removed all monsters from drawing, all others. So let's add it. We say like else, yeah, like this. So at first level, all monsters, they are kind of have the same health, but if you go down, you see here some monsters, they have less health, yeah, which is nice already. And we have not only red, but we have also yellow color, for example, and green. So let's use these colors too. First of all, let me take a look at our monster generation. And here we would add a case that at first level some monsters, like 50% of monsters, they would have a smaller amount of hit points. It's like this. Let's check. Okay, let's make them 2 by default at first level, but some of them, they would have -1. And the interesting thing that and how it works, we generate a number which sometimes it will be equal to 0. That's why it will be kind of false, and sometimes it will be true. I think yeah, even 3 is better will be, or maybe 2. And now we need to change it in draw also, because it should be like +1. If it's less than Okay, yeah, I think no, it's like all right. You see, as we use numbers, not float numbers, but regular numbers, integers, when we divide some stuff, we kind of take away stuff out of floating point. So we would add another case. Let's just copy it. So if monster level less than dungeon level, then it will be yellow. Yeah, of course, dungeon level +1 should be, because at first level, yeah. You see now some of monsters, they have kind of full hit points, they are white, and some they have yellow, because they have less amount of hit points. But it's still not what we want. We want most of players, actually, most of monsters, they should have equal, like full health. Not all, but plenty of them. So let's make it here too. We would say that we would heal monsters. So again, rand at level 2 and more. If else if rand by by 2, then monster level will have equal hit point. So at first level we also heal some. Let's take a look. Actually, I think we could even heal monsters at first level too. Make it like this. Yeah. Okay. Okay. You see, now we have more monsters which are which has full health. And at the end, when they are hard, you see they become red. And actually, I wanna make first level monsters not have 2 lives, but 3 lives, because it gives us possibility to have some hard monsters at first level 2, which is fun. So we would have a regular monster, they would have 3 health at first level, but some of them they would have. We could even make it like let's simplify stuff. I think, as we would have much more hit points for monsters, we will use something like this. Yeah, so it's just dungeon level +2. Yeah. So monster at first level have from 0. Yeah, I do not want monster to have 0. So anyway, it should be at least 1. So if dungeon level 1, then it's dungeon level 1, and this monster has level equal to 0, yeah, then it should has at least 1 level. Should be 1. So it's kind of hard code minimum threshold, and all other stuff. Let's take a look. And all other stuff, it should be plus 2. So at first level it will be like from 0 to 3. And if it's 0, it will be 1. Yeah. And now I want also to paint. I want to paint monsters which has 1 hit point. So red will be if it has less than less or equal, let's say. So here less than equal, but still for first level it doesn't really good work. It doesn't work very good. So we would add another condition here. So if monster level, yeah, we should do it here. I want to add some red monsters below the dungeon. So if monster level equal to 1 and dungeon level equal to 1, then we want to make it red 2. Yeah, let's make it here. Or yeah. So I want to have some more yellow monsters around. Yeah, here it should be +1 actually. So we would have why I do not have any yellow ones? Okay, yes, of course we need to actually first of all we need to check for yellow monsters, because red color right now it's kind of take all cases into it. So first we need to take to check for yellow monsters. So if monster level less than, but it couldn't be dungeon level, simply dungeon level, because it's first level and we can't have more, less. Okay, now we have yellow monster. So if it's less than, yeah, and it's funny that we need also beforehand, we need to check for red color for first level only. Like this, yes, it's a bit, I'm sorry guys for this quite long way. Okay, so if first level and has 1 hit point, then it's red. So then it should be yellow if it's less than dungeon level +1. And all other stuff we would look later a bit. So let me take a look now in dungeon generation, in monster generation. So by default we could have monster from 0 till 3 life. Yes, for sometimes it could be like 3. So it should be not +1 but +2. Yes, finally we did it. So you see now we have some monsters, they spawn kind of hurt, so it's easier to fight with them. Some monsters they have full health. Yeah, but later on now we need to check monsters, other monsters. Yes, so by dungeon level +2, this will be yellow. And let's take all others. All others should be like white. Yes. Okay, I found the problem which we had. The thing is that our monster, when we generate it, it could have from 0, let's add comment, from 0 to 3 or even 3 plus hit points. Because if it's kind of very deep, it would be more. Then for first level of the dungeon, as we use this dungeon level, we do not want to have 0 monsters. That's why we will make all 0 monsters when they just initially spawn. We would want to make them all at least have 1 hit points. And next thing, it's we want to make more monsters should be whole. More monsters shouldn't have like be hurt. So we heal a bit monsters. It's first thing. Then considering showing these monsters here, this small part, it's for first level. It's first level monsters which has 1 health should be red. Then here we take our dungeon level +2. It's important +2, not +1, but +2, because it's kind of our full health monster, and if its monster has less than full health, it should be yellow, and all others they should be white. So if we would take a look at this code, we see that not much white monsters. Why? Yes, because we should actually heal monsters +2, because full health it's +2. Let's go again. Here you see now we have 5 white monsters, now we have yellow monsters and red ones. The problem is that later on, when you go down a bit, you do not have almost no red monsters. So almost it's very rare case, it seems, to have almost dead monsters, while I want to have such monsters sometimes. So let's make a chance for it. So it's kind of more healthy monsters. Else, if we would make some monsters, at least small amount of them, will be almost dead. Yeah. Of course, we could make a formula for it, but I think it will be kind of interesting. Let's make it like, even like this, like let's reduce their health, like -3, for example. -3. And this actually, this thing, we would make it so we shouldn't spawn that monster. So if monster will be spawned with 0 health, it should have at least 1. So let's take a look. We have quite a lot of almost dead monsters, so we might want to reduce amount. Here we still do not have red monsters. Maybe I need to look into the formula again. Yeah, it's quite... Okay, for example, 4. Strange, it should actually work. Where is our drawing here? Of course, I just removed red monsters. Yeah, I just removed them. It was stupid. Stupid thing to do for me. I forgot to add red monsters here, so let's do it. So actually this should be red ones. Let me rework it. It should be red ones. So if it's just less than maximum, it's yellow, okay. But first of all, if it's less than half hit points, yeah, it should be red. Let's test. Okay, we have some red, some yellow, some white. It's what I want. Yes. We would have some interesting choices, because later on monsters, they will attack player. So for players to advance through levels, you will need to choose a path. So you need to choose a path. Some monsters you should kind of try to kill because they're already almost dead. Some monsters you should avoid to attack. So you see now our game become more diverse. So we have full hit point monsters. We have monsters which has not so much hit points. And I think we could make like hard monsters which are already hard. You could they will be awake, you see. So you see, when we attack monster, after some time it become red, and finally we kill it. So today you see, worked with visuals, and it was quite big hustle for me. I'm not a visual guy, but still it's good experience. By the way, here let's optimize this part of the code. Let's take this, I had it here, yeah, like if we could make it a bit shorter. Oops. Yeah, like this. So this thing, it means that we end all attributes. So we could make it like this, so it will look fancier a bit. Let's test it. Yeah, you see now. It's just a case that we do not have any yellow monster, I think. Yeah, you see here we have. So it's randomly generated, so sometimes you would have more hard monsters, sometimes less. Looks fun. Looks fun. Thank you very much for watching. I'm sorry for being a bit confused today, because yeah, I just moved to a new country and it's hard. So hope to see your comments, put your likes and subscribe. Bye bye. We'll continue next time.